In this video, I'm gonna be helping you correct the 5 most common aiming mistakes in Valorant. My name is Buster, and on this channel, I make content aimed at helping you become a better Valorant player. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything. I've done some research and piled together the 5 aiming mistakes I've seen people do that's losing you more aim duels than you should. So without further ado, let's jump right into this list. Alright, so the first mistake people do is not having a consistent aim routine that they stick to. Having an aim routine is important for multiple reasons. Firstly, it helps you just improve your aim overall. The more you train, the better aim you'll get. So having an aim routine that you do every single day will just allow you to improve your aim much faster than if you wouldn't have one. It also helps you to build up that muscle memory, which is really important for having good aim. I made a whole video about this on my channel, so check it out. It's on the card above right now. I like doing my routine every time before I play my games, so it helps me be warmed up and it also helps me improve my aim. I know myself, I practice my aim a lot, and that's one of the reasons that I've ranked up so quickly. Especially when you're in lower ranks, there's not really much tactics involved, so you just having an aim routine that you stick to is going to help you so much, just improve your aim. And if you don't have one, that is a huge mistake you need to fix. Second aim mistake is just going for body shots all the time. I know, body shots seem safer, right? Well, yeah, they are more consistent, but they won't be as effective as you rank up. So when you get up to higher ranks, or even if you are higher ranks right now, you'll need to practice headshots. That's just how it is. It's better if you get that down right now than just hold off on it, since the more you practice headshots, the better it'll be, right? First shot accuracy that you have in Valorant also helps you to hit your first headshots, so the more you improve your aim, which also ties into my first tip, the better you'll be at hitting headshots. It'll take a while to get used to, but in the end, it's really worth it focusing on headshots, as that will allow you to get quicker kills and just win more duels. I'd recommend just going into deathmatch or our ranked games where you don't have anything to lose and just practicing hitting headshots. Me myself, I sometimes go into deathmatch and just go around focusing on hitting headshots, as I really don't have anything to lose if I die and lose my duels. But it also helps me build up that muscle memory to just go for the head and not just spray wildly on the body. It's a bad aiming habit that you really need to take care of right now before it escalates. The third and probably biggest mistake you can do is having bad crosshair placement. I already mentioned this in my aim training video, but I'm gonna mention it again because it's really important. Don't aim at the sky, don't aim at the ground, aim at head height always. You should also be pre-aiming common spots when you're peeking, so that you don't just run into a sight just aiming at the wall. That's never what you want to do. The only way you can really practice this is keeping it in the back of your head while playing, just reminding yourself, don't look at the floor, don't look at the sky. Keep looking at head height always. It will take some time to get used to, but this is definitely one of the biggest aiming mistakes I see low rank players especially do. Mistake number 4, spraying 24/7. Recoil is hard to control, so that's one of the reasons you don't want to spray too much. Unlike games like CSGO where the guns have a strict pattern that they follow, in Valorant that's not really the case. You can somewhat control the spray, but it's never consistent, so I'd recommend you to burst or tap. I've also seen some people that take this way too far, so they never spray. You should still spray, just not always. So let's say you close range or mid range to the point where you're basically right in front of the enemy, then it's very safe to spray most of the times. Also, if you're getting pushed by multiple enemies, then of course spray, but don't just spray wildly. You need to still have a plan. If you want to win more duels consistently, try to remind yourself not to spray on longer distances especially. This also really ties into my headshot tip. If you go for headshots, you won't really need to spray either way. This is mainly for the people that just run around and spray at the body all the time. This is one of the reasons that's keeping you in a lower rank. Fifth mistake people do is changing their sensitivity too much. Firstly, I want to get it out of the way that changing your crosshair doesn't affect your aim like some people say. Pick a crosshair that suits you, but try your best not to build a habit of changing settings way too often, as that can easily lead to a sort of an addiction. I know it sounds kind of weird having an addiction to changing your settings, but I've actually known quite a few people who really change their crosshair and sense stuff every single day, which is just something you don't want to fall into the trap of doing. Obviously there are bad crosshairs still, like you shouldn't have a huge crosshair or a really small crosshair that you can't see, but any normal, regular style crosshair should be fine. Changing your sense is bad for muscle memory, which is the most important factor of having good aim. You see, every game you play, you build up a sort of muscle memory. Okay, I want to peek side on this map. Then I need to look right here, I need to flick this distance. The hours you put into this game learn your brain to develop muscle memory for where it needs to flick. So if you, for example, increase your sensitivity, then you need to flick a shorter distance, which kind of ruins your brain's muscle memory, and you need to build it up again. So doing this all the time will just make it so that you have consistently bad aim. In my opinion, the best way to find the best sense for you is to go into a custom game, shoot a dot at the wall, and move around it in circles, having your crosshair at the same position. Try to track the dot as best you can, and if you find yourself flicking way off, then try to change your sensitivity until you're tracking it pretty good. I believe this is an old tactic from CS, but it still works very well in Valorant. Keep in mind that the higher sense you got means you flick the targets faster, but the lower you got, the more precise your aim is gonna be. So maybe pick a sense depending on your playstyle. So for example, if you like to push a lot and play aggressive, then maybe pick a higher sense so you can clear positions to flick the targets quicker. And if you're more of a defensive player that likes to stand in the back of the team, for example a sentinel, then maybe pick a bit of a lower sense so you can just be more stable and trade your kills easily. Click the playlist on the screen right now to see all my tips and tricks videos if you want to improve with Valorant. That's it for me today. See you in the next video.